Recasters is a weekly anime podcast covering currently airing seasonal anime. If you like to follow weekly releases and hear discussions about it, you're in the right place.
If you enjoy series reviews and previews, then be warned.
Spoiler City straight ahead.
Hello, welcome back to Recasters, the only anime podcast where after discovering the eighth color of the rainbow, the Citadel of Red hunts us down to silence us once and for all. My name is Chase Adam Robinson and I'm joined here by my co-host Jesse Winter.
Why don't I get to be insert hex code color here?
You're not good enough to be that hex color.
Damn, I always wanted to be that hex color.
So Chip isn't here. I know that's weird because he was here last week.
He's off and he's on. He's here, then he's gone.
Oh, that was pretty good.
He records, then he doesn't.
He's here, then he
Isn't. It's good enough to be mainstream hip-hop.
Yeah, we've done it. That song was never hip-hop in the first place.
Tell that to Katy Perry's career.
I will. Yeah, so we've worked it out now. Chip is back on the podcast, but unfortunately for how our recording schedule worked out, then he's only going to be able to make it every other week.
This guy has like real life responsibilities or something. I don't know.
Anyways, we love Chip, and he'll be back next week, so anybody who misses him this week, we're dearly sorry. Look forward to next week. But keep listening to this week. Don't dip out now.
Yeah, lots of great content you're going to miss out on if you leave.
So this is the first episode of our new season.
Yo, new season.
So with the new season comes new shows.
Mostly
not.
Mostly not new shows.
So-
Remember when we covered new shows every season?
So once again, we've got 4 shows this season instead of the 5 from a few seasons ago. We've decided that that's much more manageable. 2 of which we've carried over from the last season. So we're going to be continuing discussion on Demon Slayer and Platinum End.
And our new shows, one kind of new. We have Orient and Attack on Titan, the final season, part 2.
Okay, so last year when part 1 came out, Chip was the only one of us that was caught up on Attack on Titan.
And then he said, let's do Attack on Titan.
And then we said...
No.
we had talked about doing a bonus episode on the entirety of Attack on Titan once it finished airing, and then it didn't finish airing. And we did get caught up. So now, just in time, just in time... I mean, we got to the point where we were watching it weekly as it was airing, right? But
yeah.
Yeah, we've decided to cover the final season here instead of doing a bonus episode. So we'll be able to talk about our thoughts on Attack on Titan as we go through the final season. Probably.
Most likely.
They actually did just release 8 OVAs that take place like between seasons 2 and 3, I think.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. Also, there was a lot of stuff going on in between those 2 seasons. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Orient is a new show made by the mangaka who is the genius behind. Is it pronounced Magi or Magi or Magi? How do you say it?
Well, if you're Japanese, you say Magi. That's all I got for you. I believe it's Magi in Japanese. So.
Okay. I believe it's supposed to be Magi,
Maybe.
but I have no idea. Yeah, anyways.
I really don't know.
Yeah, Orient. I started watching this show and I was like, this is the most anime-ass anime I've ever seen in my life. And then I looked it up and was like, that makes sense. So those are going to be our 4 shows this season. We didn't really check anything else out.
I watched an episode of Love for Kill or whatever.
What did you think of that one?
Wow. I got some Noblesse vibes. I got some Koito producer vibes.
Those are not good shows.
I got some Violet Evergarden vibes.
I haven't seen that.
But not because of the art, which is what everybody praises it for, because of the main character. So,
Which is not what it is praised for?
I don't know, to be honest. I've only watched like 9 episodes of that.
We should probably finish that.
Yeah, the show has kind of an interesting premise. It's kind of cute. It's very like Korean webtoon premise, in my opinion. It's like you got these two assassin organizations, and one of the assassins meets this girl who's also an assassin, except I think they call themselves bounty hunters. And then he's like, hey, I love you, but I was raised to be an assassin, so I have no social skills. So I'm going to try to get you to date me in very weird but silly assassin ways.
That sounds all right.
Yeah, it's not bad. I might watch more of it, but it's not a banger.
We kind of knew what we were going to be covering walking into this season. We knew we wanted to finish Platinum End. We knew we wanted to finish Demon Slayer. We knew we wanted to watch Attack on Titan. That left us with one time slot left.
And to be honest, another anime by the same mangaka who did Magi, like, that's a shoo-in to be a winner, right?
Yeah, so this was one of those rare times where we looked at the lineup and went, oh, yeah, okay.
Welcome to this season.
So I'm sorry that we didn't check out any other shows. To be honest, actually not even a lot was airing. I think maybe 30 new shows total.
Yeah, like 30, if that, maybe.
Yeah, it was a pretty small season, which is, I think that's unusual for winter, isn't it? Isn't winter usually one of the larger seasons?
No, I feel like winter's one of the dead seasons, right?
Oh, yeah, you know what? Spring's the big season.
I think our last winter, didn't we watch GB8?
And whose fault was that?
While that was my fault, that was not the point I was trying to make.
Anyways, yeah, so those are the 4 shows that we're going to be covering shortly. But before we cover those shows, this is the part of the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that interests us. We got a few things we're bringing back. Nothing new this week. I don't think, just more of the stuff that we previously talked about, but further. So Jesse, why don't you kick us off?
Well, I've been reading this manga.
What the fuck?
I know. It's this guy reading manga on an anime podcast.
To be honest, like, we're an anime podcast, and then the only thing we do in our free time is read manga.
Yeah, because it's not a job.
That's true. Every time I watch anime, I'm like, okay, I gotta be as analytical as possible.
Yeah, it's like focus mode, activate Zoom. The only time I have reprieve is when I watch 90s anime, because I know you'll never cover that on the podcast.
Somebody clip that. We just covered a show from 2000, a movie from 2003.
Is that
last
the 90s?
week. Not quite.
That's what I thought. I know you. I know how this works. I know the system. Why am I here? Just to watch anime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And read manga.
And read manga.
So what you been reading?
I've been reading JoJo's Part 6. And I am at the post time skip JoJo's Part 6.
Post time skip.
Yeah.
There's a time skip?
I mean, it's probably like a week or something. It's very unclear.
You're talking about post prison.
Yes, post prison.
By the way, manga spoilers for anybody who's anime only.
Yeah, anybody anime only on this anime podcast, manga spoilers for JoJo's Part 6. They have not released this part of the anime yet. Yes, so I have now officially seen the transformation of the Catholic priest.
Oh, we're
what's that
talking
guy's
about
name? Pucci.
Enrico Pucci.
Yeah, Enrico Pucci. I have now seen Pucci's Dio transformation.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've seen the star on his shoulder. He changed religions, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's a very bad joke. Jolene has a new outfit, kind of, and a navel ring. They made sure to really point that out to you for some reason.
Didn't she already have that?
I don't remember. I finished the fight between her and Pucci where they're out in the field and FE dies and everything.
You mean FF?
Oh, FF, right, my bad. Foo Fighters dies. And the start of the next chapter, Jolene's sitting in a jail cell. And it's a panel of her in the jail cell saying nothing. Nobody's there. And then it's a panel of Jolene going, oh yeah, I also pierced my navel because I was so bored. And I was like, what?
Oh, okay.
Okay, thanks. Good to know.
Dude, FF's death, though, so fucking sad.
Oh, dude, FF's death was so powerful.
That's like one of my favorite deaths, like top 3 JoJo deaths in all of JoJo.
Absolutely, 100%.
And man, it's always a Joe bro.
It's always a Joe bro. It's always the closest Joe bro too, right? Think about that.
Yeah, because Caesar, that was also one of the most powerful ones. And that's part 2, right? Like,
yeah. And Kakyoin, part 3, closest Joe bro.
oh my God.
Damn. Actually, if you think about it.
Even Bucciarati, yeah.
Yeah. Technically, because I think you can count Caesar in on this, the most dramatic, most emotional death in each part of the main JoJo storyline is the closest Jobro who started off initially as JoJo's introductory enemy in the arc.
Nobody died in part 4, but Okuyasu almost kind of died once, which would count him as well.
Isn't part 4 like a side story, though? Isn't that not the main story?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I'm talking about, like, the JoJo family story. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Josuke's there.
True.
But actually, you're literally right. Literally every single part, except for part 1.
Yeah.
Because
actually, if you think
Zeppelin,
about part 1,
he wasn't a bad guy.
Dio is an honorary JoJo, and he pretended to be a Joe bro, and he was technically Jonathan's first enemy to start off the arc, and then Dio seemed like he died at the end, and that was pretty emotional.
Yeah. And then Caesar, and then Kakyoin, and then Okuyasu, even though he lives.
Yeah.
And then Bucciarati.
But then Okuyasu dies and then lives again.
Look. Part 5's not that tragic. I mean, part 4, sorry. Yeah. Part 5's incredibly
I was going to say, excuse me.
No, part 5. But yeah, Bucciarati, because he started out as a bad guy too.
Yeah.
Right? Literally, you're right. I don't know how I never noticed this pattern.
Wow. What did he mean by this?
Why is the door blue?
Yeah, so I have to say, last time I talked about JoJo Part 6, I said that I was enjoying it less.
You said you gave me some bah humbug, some ho hums.
Yeah, some bah hum bo hums and some humbuggers. And I'm gonna say that with the fight between Poochie and Jolene and Foo Fighters' death, and for some reason I thought, is it Anasui? I thought Anasui was dead, but then he popped back up after the minor time skip, so I guess I was wrong about that one. But
yeah.
Wow, it's really picked up again. I mean, this manga's going hard. I'm going to have to say, I think the first third of this manga, pretty good. The second third, okay. The last third, pretty banging so far.
Yeah, that's my exact feelings on the entirety of part 6.
Nice. I think that's also how I felt about part 4.
The more I thought about it, I did decide I put part 5 above part 6.
Understandably.
So my official unchanging forever tier list. I will never change this again until next week. 7, 2, 5, 6, 4, 3, 1.
Fair enough.
Don't ask me where to put part 8. I still haven't decided. I read the entirety of part 8. I don't know where to put it.
Is part 9 out yet?
No.
Oh, okay. When does that come out?
Sometime this year.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. More JoJo.
Yeah, you got to get caught up for that.
Well, yeah. I think I might read part 9 next.
You think once part 6 is over, we can convince Chip to read part 7?
No, you can't convince this man of anything.
He did once tell me, I'll read part 7 once part 6 is over. However, I don't know if he remembers that, and I don't know if he's going to commit to it.
Good point. I guess we'll just have to see.
But yeah, he totally did say that.
Yeah, I believe it.
Hell yeah. Next up is me, because I'm the talk guy. And I'm going to be talking about a manga as well.
What? A manga?
I'm going to be talking about Black Clover. And then here's the part where the segment transition goes, Black Clover. That's not a joke.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Shonens.
Yeah. The song's actually called Black Rover, but they're definitely saying Black Clover in the lyrics. It's like, Black Clover.
This is a early 2000s animated sitcom.
Honestly, like that song rules though.
Fair enough.
So I went through a roller coaster of emotions between last episode and this episode about Black Clover.
Nice.
I was reading Black Clover, and like I had no idea how much progress I had made. We finished recording, and then I read 50 more chapters.
Holy crap.
And then I edited, and it had felt so long ago that the part that I had talked about felt like an eternity ago. Right? Like so much
wild.
shit had happened between the time we finished recording and the time I edited that portion of the podcast.
God damn, manga going hard.
Yeah. I was like, that was yesterday.
This can't be.
Oh my god. Okay, so I believe last time I talked about it, I was in the Witch's Forest. The Witch's Forest is fucking incredible. That arc is so good. And I had just talked about the Undersea Temple.
Yeah.
So there was a point where I started thinking about it, and I was like, One Piece is the best shonen manga I've ever experienced that isn't Jujutsu Kaisen. And I was reading Black Clover, and I was like, Black Clover is not One Piece, so it's shonen garbage. Right? Wow. Like this thought had crossed my mind at some point where like I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. But like every time I read it, I would walk away thinking, yeah, it's pretty good, right? And like nothing else.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about it, and you go to the Undersea Temple. The Undersea Temple has two characters that like they have to fight against the Black Bulls in this like competition, because if they win, they get to go to the surface, and they really want to go to the surface, but it's not allowed in their society to go to the surface and experience the surface things.
Okay.
Unless they win in this competition.
As you do.
And nothing else about that is ever established.
Oh.
We don't know why that's the case. We don't know how their society works. We don't know if they're forced to do that or if that's a choice, like a societal thing.
Huh.
And it like that kind of stuff really makes me appreciate One Piece, because One Piece, every arc you go to a new island and you learn exactly how that island works, exactly how their society works, sometimes how their currency works. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you to the point where like it feels like it's a DM writing out their campaign, right? Like that's how fucking detailed One Piece gets.
Yeah.
So then in Black Clover we go to the Witch's Forest, and the Undersea Temple had been my favorite arc up to this point. Okay. And then the Witch's Forest was better.
Fair.
But once again, we go to the Witch's Forest. We fight some people. We learn nothing about the Witch's Forest.
Unfortunate. This is a cool sounding forest name.
All we know about the Witch's Forest is that it's 100% women.
As you do.
And that most of them are kind of grossed out by men's muscles. I assume most of them are also lesbians if you have an entire society of exclusively women.
This is too real. Black Clover was ahead of its time.
So Black Clover came out like 2 years ago.
No way.
2016, I think. Which wasn't 2 years ago.
Yeah, wait a second. Recent. What the fuck? That's 6 years ago. That's more than half a decade ago. That's almost a decade ago.
Oh my god.
Black Clover is closer to 10 years old than it is to 2 years old.
Fuck. You're right. But it's still not that long ago. It's pretty recent.
Yeah, I mean, in the scheme of things.
Came out about the same time as My Hero Academia.
Jesus Christ. I remember when My Hero came out.
Yeah.
Makes me feel old.
Remember when Jujutsu Kaisen came out?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Good times.
That one was recent. So after the Witch's Forest, this is the stuff I talked about last time, but thought a lot more about later.
Okay.
Then we have an arc that's a tournament arc, but it's maybe one of the best tournament arcs I've ever seen in anime since the Dark Tournament in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh?
Get this. They have a tournament arc. It's 3v3 matches, right?
Okay.
16 teams total.
Okay.
And we see every single match, and it doesn't get interrupted. We see the entire tournament play out.
Are you telling me that they actually just had a tournament?
Yeah.
Like a tournament.
Right.
Like some teams compete and then one of the teams wins.
Right. Correct.
And there was no there was no cheating, there was no baddies showing up.
The closest thing to something going wrong was in the semifinals. So, there was, obviously two people fight, like two different matches happen in the semifinals, right?
Yeah.
Well, the first semifinals match, they tied and both lost. So then the other semifinals match became the finals, but that's it.
Whoa.
Other than that is 100% just straight up shown in tournament.
I can't tell if this is manga giving up or this is manga stepping into a new age.
It was really good. I really liked it, honestly. And like some of the shit that goes down, right? It's like they set up so many of these characters, and this is a complaint and something that I'm praising this manga for. Half of the Black Bulls, I talked about this a little bit when I first started reading Black Clover. All of the Black Bulls have one quirk that is their main personality.
Gotcha.
They are characters based around this one thing. And then throughout the story, half of them go to the back burner and the other half get heavily developed.
Ooh, gotcha.
So the half that gets heavily developed turn into really fucking good characters, and the other half continue to be one-note characters.
Oof.
But the farther I get, the more they're kind of rotating them through to make them all real people. So I can get behind it.
Okay.
It's just what happens when you introduce 30 characters.
To be fair, that's a lot of people to keep track of and tell stories for.
It's the same thing with the Hashira, right? We got all the Hashira at once, and then we're like, I don't care about any of these people.
Yeah, I don't even remember half of their names.
I do, because I read the manga and also sell all of their swords.
Wow.
I can tell you.
Nice.
I can tell you all of them except for one.
Who's the one you can't tell us the name of?
He's the blind guy with like the ball and chain.
Are you talking about the monk?
Yeah, the Buddhist guy.
Yeah. And he's always sitting there going, Namu Dabi?
I have no idea what that guy's name is.
Maybe he is Buddha.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's the Buddha.
So in the tournament arc, we take a bunch of the characters that we've been building up for the last few arcs, and like all of the Black Bulls are very powerful characters who were kind of shunned by society, and most of them had somebody looking down on them in some way, shape, or form, often family members.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the time in this tournament, we got to see matchups that really came to fruition with their whole character plot came to a head. And it's crazy when you have 16 teams. So we had it was like 15 fights total, and almost every single one of them like fucking mattered to the characters, right? Like,
yeah, that's pretty nuts.
It did get you could tell that the mangaka knew it was going to burn out a little bit, because there were a couple matches where they were like, all right, the match started. Oh my God, they won immediately. What a fast match.
Instant victory.
Like they just rushed in and they had to break the opponent's crystal. It was like a defend your crystal thing.
Ah, okay.
They're like, they just rushed in and broke the crystal immediately. Oh my God. And it's like, thank you. I really didn't care about that match, so I'm glad you.
I'm glad it's over already.
He knew what he was doing, which is, I mean, he did good.
Yeah, respect.
And then all of this big tournament leads into a really, really powerful like assault on the main antagonists afterwards.
Okay.
Because the point of the tournament was to figure out who the best of the best are in the Magic Knights to go take down the bad guy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why not just send all the Magic Knights to take down the bad guy?
You see, that is a great question. I thought that myself. But the problem then is that we wouldn't have had a 6 shonen tournament arc.
Oh, right. Of course.
You forgot about that.
My bad.
So then, immediately after all of this goes down, there's like plot twists left and right, shit getting thrown in your face, and that this is like, I thought back about each of the arcs I had read before. The Sea Temple, the Witch's Forest, the tournament arc, and now this one. And I was thinking, I was like, there was a point when I would tell people, nah, Black Clover, it's all right, but it's not that great. I'm enjoying it a lot, but I don't think it's anything special, you know?
Yeah.
like it's okay to like something and not be like, this is the best thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
I got to this point and I was like, I think I actually love this series. I think this
Whoa.
is fucking great.
It snuck up on you.
I still have mixed feelings. There's things that I think could improve on,
Fair.
but it's also really fucking good.
Hell yeah, dude.
I see why it's as popular as it is.
That's why it's one of the big three.
What is as established last week, this is not true.
That's why it's the underground of the big three.
Yeah, it's the fourth one in the big three. And with all that Black Clover discussion out of the way, with that, please enjoy the episode.
First up, we have Orient, episodes 1 and 2.
Orient is a show about people who live in a society run by demons, where they think demons are actually like their gods, and then as soon as they become minors, they're enslaved.
There's some very confused people.
Except for some of them.
Yeah, except for the ones that look really different from everybody else.
Actually, most of the characters looked a lot like Musashi. A lot of them had the red hair protagonist look.
Kind of. They had like burgundy hair, and it was really flat, matte with like zero hair detail.
You're right. They were born with the protagonist gene, but they got the the recessive version.
Yeah.
So give me your opening thoughts.
You know, this is like classic big shonen anime, you know? It's got really nice art. It's got some really good action scenes. Its plot is a shonen plot, but it's just different enough. It's just interesting enough that it kept me hooked. I was interested, right? You know, it's like you're not sitting there going, "Ooh, this plot is so good," but you're like, "Ooh, I got to see what happens next."
It's like it's reverse Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of being stuck in the walls fearing the demons on the outside, they're stuck in the walls praising the demons on the outside.
Yeah, it's almost like the Promised Neverland. They're stuck in the walls praising the demons and then feeding the kids that they raised. Oh, Jesus. Actually, this is exactly like Promised Neverland.
Dude, like, they finally get through and we see one of these Onis, which are just large cats, large fat cat things.
Yeah.
And it just eats a dude,
Jesus.
right? And then they're like, no, don't worry. They're only eating like the weapons and stuff. And then they spit him out and he's just feet. I'm like, okay, well, he definitely is not alive anymore.
Yeah, it definitely ended that guy's whole career. And I like how these kids, how old are these kids? I mean, they got to be like 16 or
They
something.
just graduated, so they're probably like 17.
Yeah, I don't know how this society works when you graduate. I don't know how long they can, indoctrinate you with the same lessons over and over about praising the Onis and being minors. But yeah, these kids have.
Oh right, they're 18.
Oh, are they 18?
Yeah, because they graduated from being minors.
No, they graduated to being minors.
Oh right, my bad.
As the whole society's got a case of the Benjamin Buttons.
Oh no.
But man, dude, these kids spend their whole life being indoctrinated into praising the Onis and like the Onis are so great and the Onis have our best interest in heart. And the moment they walk in and see an Oni eating somebody, all the kids are like, oh my God, they lied to us. Whoa. It's like, whoa, bro, wait, what? That's not how brainwashing works. You can't just not be brainwashed all of a sudden after these like 18 years of being brainwashed.
Did it walk out? Like, I feel like the more realistic take would have been like them being like, that's weird. What's going on there?
Yeah. Oh, what did that guy do? Was he trying to was he a bad guy? Must have been a bad guy.
Yeah.
Only bad people get eaten.
There was a couple of major themes going through these first couple episodes.
Yeah.
So one of the major themes of the first episode was the sins of the father. We have this idea that Kojiro, for his family being, what do they call him? Bushi?
Bushi.
because his family was Ibushi, then everybody just shit on him all the time, right?
Damn, dude, they were bad and bougie.
Oh my God. And the thing also, this kid, like, he's just a normal ass kid, right? Like, his family was the one that did it. Like, he could have been a normal guy, but instead, like, society is like, no, you must chain a katana to your hip and walk around being treated like garbage.
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of how societies have generally done that.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
That probably just made it worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
All they did was make him want to kill the Onis more.
Yeah. For all powerful, like, godly demons, pretty small brain play, to be honest. They're like, we got to make sure the Bushi can never stand up to us again. You know a good way of doing that? Indoctrinating them into being minors that get eaten by Onis.
How about, another good way? I don't know, kill him?
Yeah. or how about this? Make them happy like everybody else instead of torturing them.
Yeah.
There's a couple of options they had, maybe, that were not this one they went with.
It was still, like, I like the aesthetic choices behind what they did. It still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But it's anime, so, like.
Yeah. Who needs it to make...
One of the other major themes surrounding the other protagonist, Musashi, is around the idea of wanting to speak your mind, wanting to stand up for the things you believe in, but not wanting to be judged by the people around you for it, so agreeing with them anyway.
Yeah. We see a lot of that.
I think that, honestly, really interesting themes to explore. Stuff that I would say you probably don't see in anime very often.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a lot of anime really focuses on the working as a group aspect, right? So...
Especially in shonen anime, right?
Yeah, shonen's all about working with your friends and the power of friendship, yada yada.
And we got there eventually.
Yeah, it's, the power, but this power of friendship is more This power of friendship is more like two outcasts against the world, where usually in shonen it's like three homies team up with the village to save it.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, we're gonna have a third homie at some point. You can tell by the intro.
And in fact, it looks like we might even have a fourth homie.
Maybe. I wasn't quite sure. They seemed like a distant fourth homie, like the Gaara.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but, maybe they'll be there.
But just speaking of the normal Naruto and the analogy that we always give, despite neither of us ever actually finishing Naruto, we got Musashi, the Naruto of the group, and Kojiro, the Sasuke of the group. But there's something I like about Kojiro. He's all of the edge of Sasuke, even with the like dead clan and everything.
Yeah, really.
But the other thing, but the thing that's less Sasuke about him is his color scheme. And this is something like most of the Sasuke characters in shonen are still the dark clothes, black hair, Fushiguro, Aki, but we got this blonde hair, blue outfit. Sasuke had a blue outfit also, but blonde hair.
Technically, yeah.
Dude, he had like a blue shirt with like white pants.
He had like cargo shorts.
You're right.
Yeah, well, blue shirt and cargo shorts. What the fuck was that
white
design?
Cargo shorts.
Yeah, what the fuck was that design?
Dude, his shirt looks sick though. I love the symbol on the back of it.
It was a dope shirt. I always like those like necks that come up above the mouth, except that doesn't work in real life.
No. Here's the big question. Why'd they give Naruto an orange jumpsuit?
That's a good fucking question, dude.
He's a stealthy ninja, right?
Yeah,
with an orange jumpsuit.
Sure. His secret technique is turning into sexy ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stealthy ninja.
Sometimes in an orange jumpsuit.
In an orange jumpsuit. Yeah, a lot of questionable decisions made in Naruto.
Honestly, like all of those decisions are made for artistic reasons that actually do make sense. But
oh, yeah, definitely.
Thinking about it as ninjas or fashion, no.
Just think about the whole village as ninjas. Tell me how much ninja-ing is going on in this ninja village.
At least one.
There's at least one. At least Kakashi is there.
Yeah.
At least Kakashi.
Speaking of Kakashi, 0 Kakashi characters. It seems the Kakashi character has already came and gone, potentially.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Kojiro's father.
I'm definitely thinking so. I mean, he might even be in Oruka, right?
Oh, could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's Iruka, and then maybe the blue-haired guy is going to be Kakashi.
Ah, there we go. Blue hair Kakashi.
They tricked me with that blue-haired guy because I thought he had a long ponytail, and then he pulled the helmet off, and the ponytail was part of the helmet, and he has short.
Yeah.
His hair was the same color, just short. I was like, what the fuck is that?
What you don't know is that they grow their hair out really long, tie it back in a ponytail, and then they cut it off just above the base of the ponytail and then attach it to their helmet. And it's like a symbol of Bushi or something.
Maybe that's like a rite of passage, right? Like when your ponytail gets this long, you're considered an adult, and you can cut it off and make your helmet.
Yeah, once you start training as a Bushi, you're no longer allowed to cut your hair. And then when it hits a certain point, you're done with your training.
That'd be interesting.
That would actually be really interesting.
Yeah, like actually,
and not at all real in this context.
I don't think it's true, but it's sick.
That would be a dope plot device. Anyways, I love that our Sasuke character, is it Raid
Kojiro.
Kojiro thing?
Whatever you were about to say was very wrong.
Yeah. It had some of the right letters in there.
I don't think it did.
Our Sasuke character, Kojiro, typically you'll see in fighting games a hero. Well, actually, this is really prominent in the Guilty Gear series specifically, which is what I was thinking of. I think they do it in BlazBlue too, but I'm not sure. But there's a lot of Japanese fighting games where the main protagonist seems like a bad guy because he's like this like red and black outfitted kind of strong like bad boy type, but he's actually the good guy. And his rival generally tends to be the prim and proper, tall, elegant, blue outfitted blonde hair guy. So it's like we have this Japanese fighter aesthetic here, but instead they're playing the Naruto and Sasuke role in this trifecta.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Actually, a lot of the time when you see the blue outfit and the blonde hair, those characters are often pretty boys, right? Like the elegant man, but
Yeah.
here we're getting a little more of like the gritty guy.
Yeah, really interesting contrast.
Now let's talk about the coolest part of the show. Other than, I mean, the character designs are actually incredible. But
yeah, they really are.
look at his fucking scythe.
Damn,
My
bro.
boy Musashi.
I never thought that after I saw Ruby from Ruby's scythe, that there would be a cooler scythe I could view in an anime context.
Technically, this is a pickaxe. But come on.
It's just a double-bladed scythe.
Yeah.
Also, never thought of that. Never thought of having a double-bladed scythe.
Man, one of the coolest parts is when he does like the big slash where he like grounds it in the ground and they're like, he's pulling it out of his sheath, but his sheath is the planet.
Dude, honestly, that might have been one of my favorite scenes from these two episodes. Like, I hope that continues to be like a technique of his. I love it so much. There's so much playing into that. You've got the physics of him mounting the blade and then using the handle as a lever to increase the amount of force he's got in the swing. And also you've got the whole, like, the Bushi are samurai, right? And one technique samurai learned was the Ei, which is the art of drawing the sword. It was like one draw, one slice, one kill, one sheath was kind of a concept.
Yeah, it's the whole thing where you see, the dude like open and close real quick
Exactly.
and the guy falls in half.
And that's exactly what he's doing, except it's a big-ass pickaxe scythe thingy, and he's sheathing it in the ground.
Now, that being said, in the intro, we do see him with a big-ass red sword.
Yeah, I wonder if he gets a sword or if his weapon transforms like a
That's
Bankai.
what I'm hoping
Is that
for.
what-
I'm
that'd
hoping
be pretty cool.
less for a Bankai and more for a Ruby transformation.
To be honest, I don't really know how Bankai work. I'm I'm blanked on the word, so fuck that train of thought, I guess.
You haven't watched Bleach in like 10 years, right?
Yeah, I haven't watched Bleach since Shonen Jump gave us a disc with a preview for the first episode, which hadn't aired yet.
Oh my God. That was a minute ago.
It was a minute ago.
Well, Chip's going to want to cover the new season when it comes out. So.
I'm about to binge 800 episodes of Bleach.
So we finally see this Kishin, right? This big-ass demon thing. And
The demon.
and it's like a little chicken thing. And at first I was like,
Yeah.
haha, look at that thing. And then when it like started like cawing and the caw was like distorted and evil, and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
They slashed it and the worms start like merging together. I was like, ugh, oh, I don't like that.
It just it snowballed downhill real fast.
Yeah,
It got real
absolutely.
grim real fast.
And then apparently, so here's something. They eat, like, once it became a Kishin, right? Like a full Kishin, it wanted to eat katanas,
Yeah.
which is what it was going for. But the thing about katanas is they're using the word katana to mean weapon. It's kind of interesting, right? Because the katana is the idea of the weapon of the bushi is what they're going for.
Yeah.
So his scythe is his katana is what they're calling it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So instead of being like, oh, this is my weapon, they're specifically saying katana, which is very wrong, but
Yeah.
interesting in the context. This thing wants to eat katanas, but before it eats katanas, it digivolves.
Do do do.
And I would say, a lot of people will be like, oh, it's a Pokemon evolution, right? But it was much more like a Digi-evolution, because instead of turning from a small lizard to a medium-sized lizard, it turned from an egg monster to a giant monster.
Yeah, this was a very pronounced evolution.
This is very, very Digimon-esque.
It's-
I've also
yeah.
been very into Digimon lately, so I'm a little biased. Another thing about the show, it's very interesting to me always. When you start out a show like this and I'm like, oh, okay, they have like basically no technology. We're working in like the Edo period type stuff, right? And then a dude rides out on a motorcycle and I'm like, never mind, I was fucking wrong.
Yeah.
Everything I thought is incorrect.
The intro started off, it was like the Bushi bands. They fought the Oni for years, and now they ride motorcycles. They're a motorcycle gang. And I was like, whoa, that's fucking cool. And then the show starts off and everything's Edo period. And I was like, what?
And then near the end, the actual Bushi band that shows up, they come in like a fucking
Spaceship.
Roman castle thing, right?
Yeah, flying through the air.
Like, what the fuck?
And then they ride out on their flying motorcycles. So what?
It was still fucking rad, though.
Yeah, it was super fucking rad. Dude, this was like that one mecha series where it's like basically it's like Tron, but they're mechs. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's not Zorgs. It's like
Zords?
no,
Zoids?
maybe. I don't remember, dude. It aired when we were like kids.
Yeah, Zoids, dude. I know what you're talking about. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's like Zoids with cyber samurais.
Yeah, Cyber Samurai. That's the next generation of keyboard warriors.
Oh my god, the cyber samurai. Overall, I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the show. I feel like, especially with the way we left off this last episode, it feels like the world's about to open up a little bit more. We're about to go out and see what the rest of the world looks like.
This is going to be another one of those powerful shonens where we get to travel across the lands and see different environments, different cultures, go to different places, There's going to be like, I bet you there's going to be like the big Kishin, and they're all going to be very different and very unique, and they like run their own little community, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be that kind of thing where, yeah, we're going to Dragon Quest style go town to town and see who's fucked up what. Next up, we got Platinum End, episode 13, and not episode 14. Crazy thing happened just now. Jesse and I started recording this segment, only for Jesse to inform me that I am an episode behind on Platinum End. I did not realize that episode 14 came out already, and somehow I'm behind. So we're only covering episode 13 today. It's going to be kind of a weird one because Jesse's already watched episode 14, and I haven't. So...
Oh, folk, I can't believe you've done this.
I'm very sorry about that. We will be covering episodes 14 and 15 next week.
And I'll do my best to keep my mouth closed about anything relating to episode 14.
I can't believe I did this, dude. Oh my God. I'm a terrible host. I'm supposed to be the podcast host.
I'm supposed to be the forgetful one.
Yeah. Oh man. We can't switch it up now. We've been doing it for too long. Oh, okay. So episode 13. Metro Man. I've come to a conclusion about this guy.
Yeah?
He's fucking nuts.
Yes. Yes, he is.
This man is insane.
I think by the end of episode 13, I was like, I fucking hate both of these main characters. I hope they die.
It's like if Elle and Kira were fighting, but you didn't want either of them to win.
Yeah.
In Death Note, I was like, man, I like both of these characters so much. I don't know what I want to happen. And this one, I'm like, man, I hate both of these characters so much. I don't know what I want to happen.
Oh, man.
I think I still like Mirai. I think I'm on the side of liking Mirai, but I haven't seen episode 14 yet. Because like in my brain, I was like, I feel like the next episode is going to like define whether I like Mirai or not. And I haven't seen it yet, so I have no idea.
Oh, no.
All right, sounds like I don't like Mirai based on Jesse's facial expressions.
Oh, no. You're, without any spoilers, you're like so spot on with what you're saying, but like, it's so ironic.
Oh my god. We learn a little bit more about Metro Man's background story going on here.
Yeah, if you can call it a background story.
Yeah, we learned that he's fucking insane. But,
we found that he admitted to killing his sister.
dude, not only did he like, you know, she's like, there's this guy that asked me out and I really like him. And he's like, no, this can't be happening. And then he just pushes her off a cliff.
Oh, man. I know there were like those typical anime siscon vibes when he was like, I have my sister frozen in a crystal so I can bring her back to life. But like, this is just like, I didn't want this.
And it only gets worse.
Jesus
Because
Christ.
he goes and he's like, what have I done? I killed my sister. And she's like, I'm still alive. And he's like, I've killed my sister. And he's like, slowly like covers her mouth and pushes her down. Right.
Jesus.
I can't believe she's dead. She's like,
Oh, no.
like, that's not exactly what happened, but like, come on, you know?
That's basically it. Yeah. Yeah.
She was like, call an ambulance. I'm still alive. And he was like, I could let her die now.
Oh, dude, it was even worse because he was the one who was like, I could call it, or he was like, I need to call an ambulance. And then he's like, wait a minute. If she dies, she's not alive anymore. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then he goes to the funeral and he's like, no, her being dead sucks.
I regret my decision entirely.
Well, you can't do much about that now.
It's
or
like
can he?
It's the fucking bike meme where he's like,
Oh, he sticks the
sticks the stick in his tire, and then he's like, oh, why would the universe be like this?
or
Why is my sister dead?
the Eric Andre meme, right? He like shoots. It's him shooting his sister, and he's like, somebody killed my sister. I have to bring her back.
I have to avenge my sister.
Why would somebody do this?
Oh, God.
Also, like, I know we talked about him being a Chunibyo, but it's only more true every episode.
Yeah, it only increases every episode.
We get to the point where, like, Mirai's like, what if we make it a game? And he's like, a game? Tell me more. Like, let's take turns shooting each other. And he's like, yes, intriguing.
Yes, I will win. This will lead to your demise.
My 400 IQ says, go on.
I'm the greatest gamer there ever was.
So then their idea is to stand 10 feet away from each other. Sorry, 3 meters away from each other, which I believe is 9.9 feet.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I think 1 meter is 3.3 feet, right?
It's pretty close to 3.3 feet, yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna stand 10 feet away from each other, and shoot each other. Now here's my major question. All right, is it their feet 10 feet away from each other, or their arms when they hold them out? Because like
an important distinction.
I don't know. My arms like what like
that's like 2 feet.
Yeah, like 2 feet.
Yeah.
So like if they're standing 10 feet away from each other and then they hold their arms out, there's only like a 6 foot difference.
Yeah. Which is not very much.
This is not very much, yeah. I know the whole point was to be like, whoever has the best reaction speed wins. But also, like, come on, man.
Yeah, really? Like, bro.
I also feel like the entire time this thing's going on, I feel like Mukaido could just be like, I'm going to shoot him. You know, like.
Yeah.
And he's like, you can't fly away. It's against the rules. Oh, right. The rules. Of course.
I like how Mirai sets up the rules for this little game they're doing, and then Metropoliman like uses the rules to taunt Mirai the whole time, and then Mirai has like an existential crisis every time he gets taunted about his own rules that he set up.
Not only that, he looked very uncertain about the rules every time. Like, he was like, I'm gonna make a suggestion for a game, and he was like, oh yeah, a game, okay, cool. And then Mirai's like, we're gonna
No wings.
shoot each other or something. Like, he's never sure about any of it,
dude. And then in the middle of this game that he came up with, Metropoliman is like, don't forget, if you fly away with your wings, you lose. And then Mirai was like, oh, what? I lose if I do that? It's like, what the fuck you talking? Yeah,
you made the rules.
You said that
2 minutes ago.
That was your rule.
He's like, oh fuck.
Oh, my plan.
Also, like, what happens if you lose? Like, there's no.
Yeah, this whole time, but Metropoliman is like, if you fly away, you lose. you gotta play by the rules because you're a good guy. And then Mirai is like, oh yeah, well, if you fly away because you're a cheater, you lose. And it's like, yeah, who gives a fuck? What are you talking about?
Lose what? No one cares.
Yeah, what is it? Oh, yeah, like. The worst punishment you could do is shoot him with a white arrow, and he's already flying away. What are you gonna do? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
This goes for both sides. Like, what? Why are you doing this?
Oh my goodness. A few hours earlier in the day that I watched this episode, I was watching a video by a YouTuber who was talking about anime, and they were talking about Platinum End, and they were like, you would think a show that was made by the person who did Death Note, that has a similar premise to Death Note, would be a big battle royale with lots of big brain strategies and cool stuff going on. But it's not. It's small brain strategies in a big battle royale. And I was like, I don't really know if that's true, you know? I think part of the whole conflict is like our main character's unwillingness to kill people, right? And then I watched this episode and I was like, oh my God, he was fucking right about that. He's not wrong.
Oh my God.
It's actually just the case.
Oh. Anyways, I love this show.
Yeah, this show's fantastic.
It's so dumb.
It's so great. Dumb. I can't wait for you to watch episode 14.
Yeah, oh man.
Next up, we have Demon Slayer episodes 5 and 6.
Hello, welcome back to Recasters.
The only Demon Slayer where we podcast.
The only Demon Slayer podcast where we talk about Demon Slayer, even though I'm pretty burnt out on it. I can probably never look at Demon Slayer again and feel pretty okay about it.
That's pretty deep, dude.
Yeah, well, that's what it'll
Tell me how you really feel. Damn.
I never want to look at My Hero Academia or Demon Slayer again.
You know, I kind of want to just erase My Hero from my brain.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, especially after the last movie.
Jesus. Well, I mean, like, look, that's not My Hero Academia's fault. That's marketing's fault. The guy who makes My Hero Academia has nothing to do with that.
Wait, no, the movie was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made the movie.
He did not.
Oh, who made the movie? What
Some
the
people.
fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Imagine a My Hero movie not made by the My Hero guy. Incredible.
Yeah, you think the guy who makes Naruto wrote Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow?
Yeah.
He didn't.
It felt pretty Naruto.
When they went to the movie theater, that felt pretty Naruto to you?
Yeah.
Okay. A series that has no technology.
They literally have like electricity poles. They got power poles running through their village.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure they do.
I don't think they do.
I think they do.
Cool.
But I don't know. It's been a decade since I watched Naruto, so fuck me.
I just watched it. So the first of these two episodes was primarily focused around Inosuke with a little bit of Zenitsu action in it. You know, we see mostly what Inosuke is up to this episode, I think.
Yeah. It is a really good opportunity to grow Inosuke's demon slaying prowess.
There's some interesting stuff with Inosuke. So, we've kind of started to see he can like sense things around him, right?
Yeah, he's like a radar. He's like a sonar.
Dude, yeah. We already talked about this, but I really like the part when they like walk in and he's like curved into like an antenna.
Yeah.
Feet pointing out. That was a couple episodes ago, but I still like love that part. And in this episode, he dislocates all of his bones and becomes a snake.
I really, really appreciate that part of the show because, boy, do I hate people dislocating their joints. And thank you, Demon Slayer, for, like, not doing the stereotypical, like, bone snapping noises while he's dislocating. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Wow. This was, like, the most bearable bone dislocation thing I've ever seen in my life.
And I also really, really like the visuals when he's going through the tunnel.
Yeah, he's like a little worm. He's like, woo, 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 woo. But
then we also get those scenes where we see it from his perspective and we just see the tunnel as he's moving through it. That was actually really cool. That's something that I don't believe I saw in the manga. Either that or it was just not notable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. When you have a still image of like an underground tunnel, like... Probably not as impressive as like moving through it. Yeah. And it looked really cool too. It looked really good.
Now, the other thing that I want to say I don't remember happening in the manga is when Inosuke and then eventually Zenitsu are in there cutting down the demon woman's towel bits. What do you want to call those?
Yeah, it's
banners.
It's like a waistband, it's belt thing.
Yeah, and they fucking bleed.
Yeah.
I don't remember that happening in the manga. And again, it's possible that it was just because it was still images instead of watching blood spray out of these things. But I'm pretty sure they were just cloth.
Dude, it's got me thinking, like, remember the drum demon? If you stabbed his drums, were his drums going to start bleeding?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, wow.
How about the ball demon? If you stab his ball, does the ball bleed?
Oh, no.
you remember that guy?
Dude, I do. Him and the arrow demon were teaming up. Or was that the same person?
And there were two there, but I think the ball and arrow were the same thing, but maybe not. It's been a while, dude.
I just remember the Reddit likes and dislikes.
Oh my god. So then we also meet the Kunoichi. We finally meet two of Uzui's wives.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, so we got those, like, the Taisho secret segments. And they explained that apparently every ninja in this clan, when they become of age, they're assigned 3 wives.
Yeah. Interesting.
That was not in the manga.
Fair enough.
But it's an interesting idea. I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. But
yeah, I don't think that was a thing in real life, but
cool.
Nice.
I like that Suma was like volunteered.
Yeah, right. Which makes me wonder if she's got more going on. Or maybe she's just that kind of character.
Yeah, I don't know.
She seems like, well, on one hand, she's all like crying and like, I'm not good at fighting and all this stuff. So she seems like the kind that might like actually volunteer to do that. But on the other hand, that seems like a pretty good ploy to get close to a super powerful Hashira and then assassinate him.
That's the sound of the knife going in.
That's the sound of the assassin.
Both of these characters are very cute so far. I like them a lot.
Very adorable, yeah. I like their contrasting personalities.
I like that Uzui took the time to pat them each on the head.
He's such a good guy. Very, very good shinobi husband.
Dude, to be honest, I actually love Uzui so much.
He might be like top 3 favorite characters so far.
Easy. Is he better or not than Rengoku?
I have a really hard time with this because I love Rengoku, but we spend no time with him.
That's what I was thinking about. Is actually, like, episode-wise, we spent 7 episodes with Rengoku. We've only spent 6 with Uzui so far. But Uzui's been there for a longer amount of time in the show. You know what I mean? Like, because they went on an adventure, a mission. That's the word.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, I'm tired this week. They went on a mission together. So over time, we've still seen Uzui like over multiple days, where Rengoku, his entire adventure took place over like 6 hours.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of that adventure was spent with him just fighting or not even being there, right? There's a whole like at least half an hour during the Mugen Train movie where it's just Tanjiro and Inosuke running up the train fighting the front of the train.
But that's true here too, right? Like we don't see Uzui for the entirety of the 6 episodes.
Yeah, I guess you're right though.
Screen time wise, I think we've seen Uzui just as much, probably less than Rengoku at this point.
You know, maybe you're right. I think maybe this is the toss-up that I'm having is that, and it makes sense for their characters too. I'll relate it back to their actual character dynamics. Rengoku, very boisterous, very forward, full of lots of passion, direct, loud. You know, he's the flame Hashira. He's out there, he's burning, living life. And he came in, he did his thing, and then he died, right? Like a flame. Like he was fast and hot and powerful like a flame. And that was really cool and really impactful on the guys, and he was such a positive person. But then we have Uzui. He's very like sly. He's very, you know, he makes a big show, but I think that big show is a distraction from his very caring and loving personality, which we can see when he interacts with his wives. And you can tell he cares for the kids too, but he does it in a less direct way.
He did try to kidnap Aoi.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, he's used to just being handed wives, so.
I feel like it's to show like how much he cared about his wives, right? He was like, I just need anybody. We got to go.
Yeah. That's fair.
I like that. This is unrelated, but in my head, my ADHD brain went, remember that episode with Uzui? Remember when he brought the people, like brought the main characters as girls to the new place? Remember Zenitsu? And now I'm at Zenitsu. So
let's go.
I like that Zenitsu, once he was freed and had his badass scene in this episode, he still has like the lipstick and the cheek circles.
Yeah.
And his like, I don't know why they put his hair up with the 2 little triangles, but it looks stupid, but it's so funny.
It's 100% stupid, 100% funny. If anything, I think it made me like his badass scene more, because he literally like just comes strolling onto the screen asleep. Like half the screen is Inosuke, and he just like strolls out onto the screen asleep, and Inosuke's like, what are you doing? And then he just murders a bunch of the ribbon, and Inosuke's like, okay.
You like his credit scene where Inosuke like opens his eyeball while he's running?
Yeah. Dude, the not Taisho secret part.
Yeah. They're like, he's like, are you asleep right now? What's happening?
You know, I was thinking about it. We know really well that Zenitsu is extremely powerful when he falls asleep. He falls asleep, and then he unleashes a bunch of different secret lightning breathing techniques. But, and I was thinking about it this episode, Tanjiro and Inosuke don't really know that. Until Mugen Train, they were like never there when that happened. He was by himself during the spider fight. He was by himself during their initiation tournament thingy. He was by himself during, I don't even remember what arc came after that, but
yeah, you're right. They haven't really seen him do that.
Yeah, and so seeing Inosuke so shocked by it this episode, I was like, why are you shocked? He does this all oh. You actually don't know that he's useful.
They just always assume he's just stupid and useless.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the drum demon. That's right. He like took out a whole demon by himself.
Yeah, but only the kids saw, right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yo.
I never even thought about that, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
Now, our other 2 main characters,
Uzui and Nezuko.
Yeah, who cares about Tanjiro? Fuck that guy. Yeah, so Tanjiro, we finally see him do more of the Hinokami Kagura.
Yeah, we saw him do a lot of Hinokami Kagura this episode.
Dude, I was thinking about it the other day. I was looking online for pictures of the Hinokami Kagura. 90% of the pictures you can find are from the fighting game. And I was like, why aren't there that many pictures of the Hinokami Kagura? Oh, yeah, he's only done it twice.
Right? And the first time he did it, he just like spun in a circle with his sword on fire.
Yeah. I fucking forgot. So this is like the first, like, this is one of the first times we see him put it into practice, right?
In fact, this is the first time he talks about something what I think is very important this episode, and I believe this is the first time we hear him really talk about it, and it's that he doesn't feel fully at home doing the water breathing technique. He feels more comfortable and more capable doing the Hino Kamikagara.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's close to what his family is used to, right? That's what his dad made.
Yeah.
Or like did. That's what they did.
That's his lineage. It's in his blood. It's in his genetics or something.
Those are the words I was trying to think of that didn't come to my head. I'm so tired. And then, after we see him do the Hino Kamikagara, we see Nezuko come out and kick some serious ass.
God.
Or maybe kick some head even.
Yeah, one might say.
That's not a good joke.
No, but it's funny.
Nice.
Nice.
I really, really like the aesthetic of her with the horn.
Me too. And also my first thought was, look, it's Eri.
Oh, no.
From My Hero.
What do you think is up with, like, there's like a vine tattoo looking thing going on?
Yeah, good question. I'm trying to like rack my brain. I'm trying to think about things that we've seen, you know. It's been a little bit since I've watched. I think I watched the first Demon Slayer season in 2019. Isn't that when it aired?
Yeah.
I think I watched it after it had finished airing. So it's been a minute, but you know, in their family, in Muzan's stuff, I just can't think of anything that has that pattern or something that pattern would be related to. Even the Hino Kamikagara, like, I don't know how you would relate it to that either. But, you know, she does have the fire blood, so...
Yeah, I think it's got to have something to do with her blood demon art, right?
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's specifically how her blood demon art manifested.
The important thing that we see in all of this is that she now has the ability to regenerate her limbs instantaneously.
Yeah, and in the words of an upper level demon, she can regenerate her limbs at the level of an upper level demon.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because demons get it. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Next up is Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 17.
Dude, the episode has it officially labeled as episode 77.
I think it's 76.
76, yeah.
Yeah.
Those fuckers.
Attack on Titan, Episode 76. We don't even... How many episodes is this supposed to be?
Dude, to be honest, I have no idea. If this is part 2 and part 1 was 12 episodes?
16.
16?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. To be honest, I kind of hope it's 16 episodes because I fucking love this show so much.
It's really good, except some of it. But
there are parts that have issues.
I have a lot of thoughts on Season 4 in general, but this episode started off like a fucking wild ride. Like, we start off and they're like, Levi's dead. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, dude.
What the fuck happened?
It's probably been a few months since I finished. Well, actually,
it's been almost a fucking year now.
Yeah, it has almost been a year, huh? Yeah. So they went so hard at the beginning. I was like, did I fucking miss something? Did I forget to watch some Attack on Titan?
I had to check. I was like, did they release 2 episodes? Did I miss one? No, they didn't.
Yeah, they just... The screen fades in from black. Levi's dead. Well, shit. Okay.
He might not be, though.
He might not be. There's been plenty of people who died who did not die. So.
Well, here's the thing: is that when they're like, Levi's dead, and Hanji's like, yeah, Levi's dead, and they're like, okay, let me check his pulse. And she's like, no, I confirmed it already.
That's true. That's true.
And he's like, I know how to check a pulse. Let me do it. And she was like, and then fucking. Zeke comes stumbling out, and everyone's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, Levi might totally be alive. Though his face is very fucked up from that explosive round.
He sure is. If he's alive, he's pissed about it.
He's not a happy camper. Not that he ever was, but...
Yeah, that's a good point.
And now he's got a real reason to be pissed.
He's like, I'm small and filled with rage.
I'm small and filled with piss and gambling.
Much like my friend Jesse over here.
Wow.
Okay, so then we get into a big fight, big Titan fight. Because the last thing we see in the previous season is Reiner falling out of the sky.
Yeah.
And Aaron looking up at him and I'm like about a fucking go, you know? So we finally get that fight going down, and god damn does it look good. Holy shit.
Oh my fucking god. This show has amped its production value 1,000-fold in like a 2-year period.
Bro, that's Mappa for you, right? Like as soon as Mappa took over.
Yeah, dude. Mappa the Monsters. I remember season 3 was Mappa, right? That's when they started doing the CG Titans?
No, season 4.
Was season 4 really the first time they started doing CG Titans?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well then like 10,000%. Because I remember when the CG Titans first came out, people were like, what the fuck are they doing? These things look like garbage. And now they look like fucking Demon Slayer level CG going on out here
real
right
good.
now.
And goddamn does the the Hammer Titan abilities that Aaron gained.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool, and the effects look so good.
Man, oh man. And they're like really fighting too. Like before the Titans, they like do some grappling and like run around and jump and stuff. But I mean, like Aaron and Reiner are like exchanging blow for blow, and you're watching them like literally punch pieces off of each other, and they're just like getting smashed up. And damn, it looks so good.
Yeah, and then Reiner's just like absolutely fucking destroying Aaron. He's like punching holes in him and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then we get I think we're gonna see the Colossal Titan pretty soon.
Yo, yeah, absolutely.
Because if you remember, the Colossal Titan is Armin.
Yeah. And in this episode, we see Armin having some very interesting counter conversation to the rest of the OG squad. And I think we're going to see Armin have some sort of mental break, right? I think something is going to like snap in this guy, because he's always been a really good guy. He's always been like he's the tactical mind. He doesn't want to go out there and fight. He doesn't want to lead the revolution, but he's got the Colossal Titan, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I think something's going to snap in this guy's head. Something's going to click into place, and he's about to go off.
Dude, I certainly hope so, because while 3/4 of this episode was really, really good, 5 minutes of it was standing in a jail cell talking, and it's like, I feel like a lot of it was just reiterating stuff that we already knew, or like showing some of this, it was like rehashing some of the stuff that happened last time they talked in that jail cell, but with Aaron.
I
was like, okay, but like, do something.
To be fair, there's like 7 normal humans and somebody who can turn into a Titan stuck in a concrete bunker underneath where Titans are literally being dropped onto their city.
True.
So, like,
dude, speaking of which, like, people who can turn into Titans, one of the coolest scenes, in my opinion, was there's a part when Gabby and Peak are together.
Yeah.
And Peak jumps off of a cliff to transform, right?
Yeah.
Instead of, because obviously if she transformed right next to Gabby, she would have fucking killed her.
Yeah.
Which would have been great for us, but.
Well, yeah. I might hold a grudge, maybe, against this little fucking child.
But yeah, I really, really like that scene.
Dude, I love that scene a lot. And part of that scene that I really love is where is it the Masked Titan? Is that what they call that guy?
The Jaw Titan?
The Jaw Titan, that's right, yeah. Well, not Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, he's the Jaw Titan. So he comes leaping over, and Gabby and Peak like raise their arms. They're like, help, because they're linked together. They're chained together, like, help us out. And he swings his hand and takes Peak's hand off to free both of them from the chains, which is great because Peak both needs to get hurt to transform into the Titan, but she's like, oh my god, that fucking hurt, and she like stumbles and backflips off of the building, and it's just the whole scene, the way the motion flowed and everything was so funny and so awesome at the same time.
I just really liked the voice acting of that part when she got her hand taken off and she
yeah.
jumps off the cliff. But it was like so powerful the way she says it.
Oh, dude. Oh, man. This season is starting. Second half of the season, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
What is this, 86?
I've given up on Japanese naming conventions. But dude, this is starting
in the
strong.
words of the great master Joseph Joestar, I'll never forgive the Japanese. Dude, yeah, but oh my god, the scene where like, and this is just showing us for sure that like for real, Titans don't fucking matter anymore, right? These people come in on airships and just start fucking gunning down all of the soldiers.
Oh my god, that might have been one of the most brutal things I've seen in anime in a long time.
Yeah, this is some like I hope I see this later in like, goriest scene compilations or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is put this up with the scene of Another where the girl gets her head blown off by an umbrella.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
You've seen that scene. Come on, everyone's seen that scene.
Oh yeah. And I really, really appreciate the way they did this too, because there's a thing that a lot of media, like 99% of media does, and they make action war scenes exciting. And I don't necessarily mean exciting in a good way, because a lot of those can be really brutal and horrific, right? But a lot of those scenes, you got people running around, they're yelling, they're screaming, there's gunfire, there's lots and lots of shooting, and there's lots of bombs and stuff, But let me tell you this. That's not how it works, right? When you got a crowd of people, right? When you got a whole bunch of dudes really tightly packed together, and then a whole bunch of dudes tightly packed together on the other side, and they're all shooting, those guys go down fast. And then there's just a lot of dead bodies slumped over. There's no screaming or yelling, you just a bunch of slumped over bodies, right? And that's exactly what they fucking did, dude. We had all those we got all our Spider-Mans, they're like packed in these streets.
They get 3D maneuver gear.
The 3D maneuver gear, that's right. That's a mouthful. So we got all our 3D boys. They're all packed tightly.
All our 2D 3D boys.
All our 2D 3D boys. And they're all packed together in the street, right? And you just see a bunch of Marley soldiers pop over the roof, and they pop off like 10 shots. It's like pop, 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 pop. And then you just see a bunch of dead people fall over. And it's like, holy fuck, that is so savage.
Yeah, absolutely.
God damn. A lot of respect. They're going hard.
It's a great place to start the season.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Recasters Anime Podcast. We hope you had as much fun as we did.
Feel free to check us out on Facebook. We post anime-related memes there almost daily. Let us know what you think of the current anime season, or even just say hi.
You can look forward to weekly releases every Tuesday morning on platforms like Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher.
Tune in next week for more anime discussion.
Ja, mata raishu!